Hello, welcome to Diggers Outdoors. This is going to be the introduction video to my GPS series. I got a lot of positive response when I did the review and usage of the GPS I have, and I was just barely scratching the surface on it. But with the positive views I got, I think I got like between 13 and 1400 views on that. I know to a lot of people it doesn't sound a lot. To me, it's almost as many as the rest of the views on almost all my other videos, so I think we hit something here. But we're going to start at the beginning. We're going to go through the manual, learn all the different things that this does. Like that GPS is Bluetooth enabled, so it will pair to your cell phone, which I have not done that yet. And you may ask, why don't I just get a cell phone app, GPS cell phone app, and use that and leave GPS at home? The simple thing is I run limited data. The GPS, I don't have to pay for data. It may be a little bit more of a cost up front, but it does a lot more than many of these apps do. The other thing is, I like keeping my cell phone, because I carry my cell phone with me everywhere. Not because I have my face buried in it. I carry my cell phone with me in case of emergency. This is what this is. This is an emergency lifeline for me. If something goes wrong, I can use this with the GPS, tell them where I'm at in the woods, and help the rescuers rescue me. That's one thing a lot of people forget, is that if you get lost in the woods, that's where this GPS will come in. It's your duty to try to help the rescuers get you out. Something to remember. But we're going to be doing many things. After we get through the basics, I'm going to show you how to mark a waypoint, how to get back to a waypoint. That's more like basic usage. Once we get through the manual, all the stuff, and most of that stuff I can probably do in my back porch. But we're going to go through a lot of it, try to learn a lot of it, and then put it into application. One of the many things that I'll be using my GPS for is studying ruins. There's some old homesteads around here, and we're going to be doing this stuff on location. This isn't going to be behind the house here up here in Solitude. This is going to be on location. So we're going to go to like Moraine State Park, McConnell's Mills, Raccoon, a few of the county parks around here, and hopefully a couple of the other parks, and maybe some places up in the mountains that I haven't really took you guys to yet. So there's that. We're also going to use it to mark photography spots, since I'm a photographer, so I could show you a lot of that there. And once we get all this data, whether we do ruins or photography or we scout a trail, which we're going to be doing a lot of trail scouting too. I'm going to be doing some scouting of the North Country Trail in different sections. But after we go through all that, I'm going to show you how I come home and I show you how I put it in Google Earth, so I can start building a map of this. I'm also going to show you how you some practical uses for this, how you can mark your property markers with it. That's something else we're going to do on location, because I kind of carry an OPSEC here for my home. I don't really want people knowing exactly where my home's at. Some of you do, I understand that, but I don't want everybody to know. So we're probably going to do that on location. And with that, when I show you that, I'm also going to show you, another thing I'm going to show you is how I use datum points. Some of these ruins that we're going to be going to are expansive. Here's Siren, I didn't do it. But a lot of these ruins are expansive. It's not just one little building here. It's a wall, a couple buildings, many different things. I'm going to show you how I use datum points, how I set up my datum points. And what my datum point is you guys may laugh at this, but they work, are the little cones about this big that you buy out at the dollar store. You get like 3 or 4 for $1. But they work excellent for that. They're lightweight, they're easy to carry, they kind of stack inside each other, so you can take about a dozen or 2 dozen with you and not really gain any weight. Which, when it comes to studying the ruins, I also have a little kit set aside just for that, and I'll show you what's in that kit. So there's going to be plenty of things we're going to do. I'm also going to show you how to use Google Earth to pull coordinates to get to someplace, because I'll use Google Earth to quote-unquote pre-scout an area before I go into an area. This is mostly for my photography work. I'll pre-scout the area, see what's in it from a bird's eye view, and I can eliminate a lot of ground there and get to my targets that I want to take pictures of. And if I have time after getting those targets, then I may go into some of those areas I wouldn't say wrote off, but didn't find quite as interesting as what I've seen overhead. So there's many ways to pull things back and forth. One last thing I'm going to say before I get into any disclaimers is one thing I've learned is if the waypoint is very important to you, write it down. I know in the age of electronics it sounds kind of crazy, but if you write it down, you have a hard copy of it, and you know where you put that hard copy, you'll never lose it. So we're going to start a journal, a handwritten journal of waypoints, things I find, not every single one, but things I find interesting. How I would put the coordinates in, what kind of notes I put with it. We're going to have that. And now we're going to get into the disclaimer part of this. Even though I'm showing you guys how to use how I use the GPS and all the different things it can do, know your map and compass skills. And that's one thing, honestly, that I have to really bone up on myself. I know enough to get myself back out. That's about it. But learn your map and compass skills too. The reason I say that is that GPS, it's a piece of electronics. Basically, it's a machine. A machine can fail. A compass and a map is always there. There are going to be places, and I will show you these places, that GPS is not going to work as well as you think it's going to. Many times it's going to be in deep valley bottoms where it doesn't have clear view of the satellites. It starts cutting satellites out so you don't get your full feed. And once you go down to under 3 satellites, it's going to be searching for satellites. It's not going to do anything for you. So GPSs do have their limitations. The next disclaimer I'm going to make is if you go into the woods to do a lot of the things around your area that I showed you, I'm not claiming any responsibility if anything should happen. Make sure you, if it's private property, make sure you get the proper clearances to go on that property. Don't do anything crazy like going straight through the woods. Watch yourself. If you want, because I do a lot of this stuff solo myself, and I have a playlist that I call my hiking list. Go through that playlist. Seriously, go through that playlist, because I have 10, I think maybe 12 now, because I added a couple more to it, of my solo hiking rules that I personally use, and that's kept me out of a lot of bad situations. So go look at them. But with all that being said, I want you all to stay safe. Staying safe out here in the woods is one of the names of the game. The biggest thing is have fun. Come out here, have fun. This should not be a job. But with everything being said here, and before the camera tries to cut me off like it did the last time, so this is like my third take on this video. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I look forward to the views. I look forward to the comments. I'm looking forward to this series. You all have a good day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe.